Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Good Time Gal. I'm your host, Caitlin Peluffo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today on the podcast, we have Mehran Khaghani. Holy heck. Column, this was a weird one, huh? It got dark, twisted, and disgusting, but very fun. So just trigger warning if you're, well, just an all-around trigger warning, I would say, for that podcast. It was insane, but fun. He's so funny. He's so great. He looks great. What an angel. And I love him to pieces. Follow him at the Mehran, Mehran. And follow me at Caitlin Peluffo. Follow the pod, Good Time Gal Pod, on Instagram. And on YouTube, please, Caitlin Peluffo. Caitlin-Peluffo, because someone apparently is Caitlin Peluffo, which is crazy. Anyway, there's only one. Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in. Rate, review, subscribe. I'm on the road. Check out my link tree. It gives you all the dates. I am a busy little bee, so come see me. I'll be working on a lot of new stuff because I recorded an album. And so then be aware of that. It doesn't matter. Brr! I'm really getting worse at intros, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep going. Thank you for tuning in. Anything else? What else do I say? No, don't stop. Okay, Caitlin Peluffo. I'm Caitlin Peluffo. I don't have a Patreon because I don't love myself. Just kidding. It's fine. This is fine. Mehran is great. Okay, I love Mehran. He's so funny. But honestly, if you have suffered any kind of trauma, just be aware of this episode. I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram. Goodbye.
Doing a play is so isolating from everything in your life. It's 6 days a week, 8 shows a week. Oh. During the rehearsal process, 60 hours a week.
Wow.
Rehearsal and tech, you don't exist. Save, but. And this was a play, you saw it. I love that you came.
It was wonderful.
It's all 7 of us on stage for the whole thing. So we didn't even have scattered call times.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was a day where I got to come in at noon or a day where I got to like leave at 3. None of that ever happened. It was morning till night every day.
Yeah. So
you fall out of life so hard that you don't like this. I can acknowledge that I got on a scale recently and saw that a change did happen.
Yes.
But there's nothing. I'm putting on the same costume every day. I'm seeing the same 7 people every day. We don't really notice changes in each other because it's, the boiling frog metaphor?
Yeah. The jumping out.
It's the boiling frog. No. As in like it doesn't know.
Yeah. But if you put it in really fast.
It'll jump. That. I didn't know that half. I just thought you're supposed to fuck them up.
No. You boil it slowly. You won't notice. But if you put him in a boiling pot, he jumps out immediately.
Are we sure?
Well, yeah.
Have you tried?
No. PETA? I've never tried. Okay.
Oh, PETA's been, right? And then Davidson went off on them and they drove his car into a house. So my point is this. Don't fuck with PETA. They have witches.
Yes, they do.
They have witches.
All the Wiccans are PETAs.
Are PETA. PETA Wiccan. I'm a PETA Wiccan. That's my religion.
You're kind of dressed like a Wiccan right now.
All I wear is black.
Yeah.
But that's kind of always been my
You've
MO.
always been I was going to say a black boy.
No, that's great. Let's do that. On this, the day after Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You've always been black to me.
Yeah.
Black like me. No, I because I don't want a complicated life. Because this is nutty.
What?
So
your head?
My head.
Oh, I thought you were like, I was like, your forehead looks great.
I love it. No Botox.
No Botox?
Isn't that crazy?
Really?
I wasn't allowed for the play.
Why?
Because you have to use your face.
You do have to use your face.
Right.
Let's see it go crazy. Oh my goodness. But it still looks fantastic.
It's been years since I've had eyebrows that move. So, but all of that, I have to be able to just reach into my closet and be like, pants, shirt, and I have like 30 or 40 of these, and then like probably 7 or 8 of ththese.
Well, if it ain't broke.
Then like the cast was making fun of me. They would like Photoshop me into bars and doing like stagehand shit because they say that I look like that.
Yes, you do look like a stagehand right now. It fit like
which
one
is
too.
Bisexual.
Bisexual?
Stagehands are so bisexual.
Really?
Not to like never work again, but they give me bisexual vibe. Not that I blew the stagehands.
I was gonna say, what's the vibe
like
they're giving
all
you?
non-binary.
Oh,
like,
I see it.
But yeah, no. It's just I'm not fucking them. I don't shit where I eat.
Okay.
I fuck where I steal.
Okay.
That's It's a Tom Dustin line, and it's my favorite joke
Tom Dustin.
ever.
May
Which
he
we
rise
have.
again.
May his flag wave. I don't fucking know.
Do you
But I
do his club down in Comedy Key West?
Absolutely not.
No?
Like, never. Here's the
You
thing.
would do terribly there.
I hate. That's wonderful to know. One, I think I'm ready for a different kind of comedy.
Okay.
Now that I've done this play, I feel very ready
man-
for other shit.
You ready for like a one-man show?
Oh, fuck that. You know, I'm not a humorist, half the funny and twice the time. Have you heard that before? But no, it's more like right. What are you?
That just clicked in
Yeah.
my head, and I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is."
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'm still a stand-up by trade, by pedigree, by whatever. But it's more like, whether or not we think about it, I think we shy away from certain things because we like there's like a preservation of cool or something. And I feel much more willing to be an idiot on stage, a different kind of idiot,
Okay.
a higher risk idiot
Yeah.
than
You're ready to be a silly, silly fun time.
a little bit sillier, more like, like I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like act outs are probably more likely to happen on me now.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, why not?
Act out, babe. What kind of act out are you gonna do?
Anything I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see you do.
No, we're not doing
Come
that.
on.
We don't do that. It's like
Let's
stopping
do
someone
it.
on the street and telling
Do
them
a
to
pigeon.
I'm like, wait, can I do a pigeon? But I'm not doing that with you. We're doing that. Okay, so you've always been confident in an unhealthy way, and I think that's your.
That is not true.
That
I
is
am
true.
Still a woman.
That's not really. And you know what I mean? We can't agree on that she's barely a woman. I mean, you're
I'm wearing mascara.
no. You're
Look
a
at that.
beautiful girl.
Girl.
Right. She's a beautiful girl.
You hear that, Colin?
And
Thank you.
I think you're a proper dyed-in-the-wool feminist. I think that you really and truly represent it, right? Without without being without being a coos. and no, I mean, like, you are. I guess you're a woman, but you're scrappy like a boy.
I am scrappy.
You're
like
scrappy
a boy.
like a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I could be a stagehand.
No one in this mortal coil is more cut out to move furniture, to like shift a set.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I feel very
Scene.
yes.
Yeah. How did we get into this?
We were just talking.
Oh, you were saying I was thin. Let's get back to that.
Mehran Khaghani.
That's-
this thin bitch.
It's not even. But that is the thing. I think what it showed me is what a piece of shit I am when I'm at home.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I'm not out, when I'm not forced to be out of the house 60 hours a week, I'm going to lay there and be like, well, I think there were some leftovers, and then like
Yeah.
eat it and like binge watch a TV show. Binge and binge.
Binge and binge.
Right?
Double binge.
Double binge. Nothing
Yeah.
feels better.
Oh my God.
Nothing feels better than falling off the face of the earth. I mean, maybe plus Percocet. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not allowed anymore. I'm just not allowed. But that was the best, was like eating painkillers, overeating, and watching Aaron Brockovich for the 50th time.
Oh, that's nice. See, I
That
would
was a
sit
good
there
feeling.
and I would watch I would watch HGTV House Hunters International. all right?
Absolutely.
And pretend like I was traveling the world. And then I would eat ice
They're
cream.
kind of trashy.
So trashy.
Yeah.
I love it. They're
Yeah.
like, why isn't my stove big enough? It's like, because you're not in stupid America
100%.
anymore. But I would watch that, and then I would eat oat milk ice cream by the pint, and I was like, well, it's
Why
healthy
oat milk
for
ice
me.
cream? Because the other stuff gives you the runs?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. I mean, I've had diarrhea since 1992. This is genuine. I haven't had a solid bowel movement in decades.
Really?
Absolutely. No, my ass has one mode and it's screaming. It shouts as loud as it can, as wet as it can. But I'm done in seconds.
Mehran.
I will never, like, you'd think I was pissing.
Let's do an impression of Mehran, an act out of Mehran shitting.
And then a dainty wipe. And then maybe a spritz of cologne. And go back in the...
Icky, fun
It is in
time.
fact gross. It's I mean, the human body is a disaster.
It's really unattractive. Yeah, everything that we do.
But then why do we want to fuck all of them?
Because
And why do all of them want to fuck me?
Oh
Can I ask?
my goodness, Mehran.
It's ridiculous.
And boy, do they.
Absolutely no one. That's the other thing, is that you would think that like that would be a metric that things have changed, is people trying to fuck me. Absolutely no one. No one's trying to fuck me.
Have you tried? You've
No.
been busy.
I've been too busy to fuck.
Yeah. So you don't know.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. You are The Fears, a wonderful play. I don't know. It closed, right?
Closed on Sunday. It closed 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank
by
you
the
so
way.
much.
It was
I
a
loved
beautiful
it.
play.
I loved it.
But you've been so focused on creating this beautiful piece of art that the blinders are on. You haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, I committed to
You
this
haven't
thing.
even seen your own body.
Have you ever done so? I really haven't. I really haven't. Legitimately haven't. And like my pants were always too tight on set. So
They were
They
tight.
stayed tight.
But the thing is, what we do is, what I realize happens is, as a person who recently lost weight, I still wash my clothes the same. I like bought all new clothes.
Yeah.
And then I wash them. So as I get smaller, my clothes are also getting smaller. And
Do
so I'm
clothes
like,
just get smaller as you wash them?
if you put them in the dryer, yeah.
No, but then they stretch out again. The fibers will then no?
I
It can't get smaller and smaller until it's Barbie clothes. That's fucking weird.
Well, that's my goal weight.
That's my goal.
Just trying to be Barbie.
I'm gonna be a Bratz doll. I would love to be a Bratz doll. I
Just the
actually
head,
wouldn't.
just
no.
in the eyes, looking like a bug.
Just a giant lollipop head, Q-tip body.
That's been the goal since 1987.
Sure. But then somebody sent me that. I can show you in a little bit. But someone sent me a picture of me when I was taking fuck tons of Adderall and biking all over Boston. I was a whiff. I was the tiniest muscle girl.
I didn't know you lived in Boston.
I'm originally. Why do you think I know Dustin?
Oh.
Where else?
I did know that you
rest
lived in
areas.
Boston.
That would be the only other place we'd meet is him. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, no, Boston. The first 7-8 years of my career were in Boston. That's where I got. That's where I got my sea legs. You know.
Yeah.
In stand up, and but Boston only has 3 clubs, or at least back then certainly only had 3 clubs, and one of them was run by a real piece of shit.
Who? Which one?
He's dead.
Oh no.
He's dead. And someone just yelled at me to not speak ill of the dead. Someone just.
When has that ever stopped you?
I know. I know.
New body, new Mehran.
That's so crazy. And it's weird. Normally I wouldn't give a shit to say that Dick Doherty was a piece of shit. But I'll tell you when he was okay with me in the beginning, and he certainly gave some people a leg up. I think Dane Cook was someone that he, fostered. But he turned out to be a man of upstanding moral character.
We should ask his 20-year-old bride.
His child bride. His trafficked affianced. No, but so this girl who fell out of a shipping container / his neighbor. Poor thing. Absolute poor thing. But no, but it was the Boston Marathon bombing. And we were all trapped in our homes. They shut down Boston while they were looking for more bombs. And I casually on Facebook wrote, "This is why I don't take exercise." Casual, right? And we didn't know the extent of it at the time. Like the pictures hadn't been published of like the blind girl and the man with no legs. Like that hadn't become.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? Like that hadn't been introduced into.
It was just
like,
a
the
loose
public
bomb
consciousness.
yes.
It was just like something happened at the marathon, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is why I don't take exercise." Doherty immediately was like, "Go back to Iran. This is our country." He went fucking crazy on me.
Yikes.
And then every Route 1 comic in Boston, I'm sure Trump voting, dated comedian in Boston, pigpiled on me.
But that's not even a bad tweet. I think Dane Cook has said worse. Well, he's done worse.
Don't call her that. But I'm pretty sure her name isn't worse. It's worst. No, poor thing. What a crazy. I'm sure I'm like looking at Colin all the time because he's like a guy who I'm sure has defended other men's right to date children. But
He just looks the part.
You know, he's like, yeah, they're prettier than, you know, or whatever. Yeah.
Was that your act
out. It was. I'm known for my accent work. Not at all. Yeah.
So then you got canceled from that.
I
Scene?
got. Well, I mean, This is the thing about the world.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about cancellation and people talk about, repercussions and consequences of being a certain type of person. I had a brother who was super abusive to me growing up. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that happened when I was that way, if I ever objected to the way I was treated, which was clinically wrong, right? He would say, oh, well, I was going to drive you to the mall, but since you talked up, since you talked back, now I'm not gonna. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this fucker was never gonna drive me to the mall. Mm-hmm. I was never gonna get that reward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These societies that are excluding people, you were never going to be their darling. Mm-hmm. You were never gonna.
Yeah.
Whoever the fuck they are, they were never going to be the people who back me to enjoy any kind of acclaim, notoriety, visibility, success.
Yeah.
That's not what they do.
No.
Right?
Right.
So fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All they're doing is confirming their bias against me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You gave them a reason, quote unquote. I
gave them a lens. I gave them a focus. Mm-hmm. I gave them an opportunity. I showed them a door that they could walk through and, tell me to go back to my country. Because people you know what I mean? People run around having that as a belief, right? Go back to your country. But as in he didn't have that belief until I said something. He's like, people should go back to their countries. No, that hooker was waiting to tell someone to go back to somewhere.
Yeah. So did you move to New York right after that?
Right. As soon as the Boston Marathon, I was like, I can't stay here anymore. All these old, irrelevant motherfuckers are coming for me. I have to leave Boston. No, I stayed in Boston for a while. Noah and I got together. Mm-hmm. I had meniscal repair surgery. I started to get sick and all that stuff. And then I opened for Eugene Merman in Northampton. And Eugene and I went to high school together.
Aww.
And
cute.
Yeah, I love he is a proper good person. His insides are good, his instincts are good. He attracts good people who have good feelings.
Great.
He is a good person. And so he had me open for him in Northampton, and I crushed. And his manager at the time picked me up then
nice.
And there. And she represented Reggie Watts, and she had a lovely client list that actually I felt really excited to fit into. And she insisted that I move to New York. Noah refused. My husband refused because we had moved 2 times in 2 years.
Yeah,
he's like, we're not becoming those faggots. We are not like gypsies who are just going to keep packing our shit and moving every time you find a cute place to live. It's not happening. And then we went on a walk one winter. We came back. There was a note on our door that had fallen and turned into scraps in the snow. We picked it up. We reassembled it like a jigsaw puzzle. It was from our landlord saying he was selling our building.
Oh, there's a sign.
Literally. So we moved to New York based on that because Olivia told me to move here, and then she quit the business 3 months later.
Perfect.
I moved my husband and dog to a shitbox apartment, an absolute dungeon, a 4th floor walk-up dungeon in the Upper West Side that ended up being abandoned and overrun by rodents and pests.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, during COVID. Yeah.
Was that was that the one I went
Equities
to?
Management. This all named names. Those motherfuckers should be in prison forever. Forever.
You heard it here first, folks.
Do not take an apartment from K Equities if you're in the city.
Do they have a lot of listings?
I don't fucking know. I didn't research them. I just know they blow. But So
This episode is not getting monetized.
why is it? Why would we monitor? Because there's a homosexual simulating sex. You know what I mean? Imagine if every male straight comedian who simulated sex was suddenly demonetized. Do you know what I mean?
No, I just
No
meant
one
for
would exist.
specifically for YouTube. They have very strict rules.
Okay, how do I do that? What am I supposed to not do?
You
in order
do
to not
it all.
be...
You
No.
be
This is fun
yourself.
for me. This is fun for me. What are we not supposed to do in order?
We blew it
We can't
the
say
first
sex. We can't say
5
rape. We
minutes.
can't say sexual trauma. We can't say because they always edit the words out. They're like, do you know what I mean? They're like, and even when they write it, they're like six. Like they write the word six instead of sex. I could fucking burn this world down. It's like that we can't say literally the biological imperative, the impulse that topples empires. Sex is not, it is an unspeakable word. It's the fucking weirdest thing in the entire universe. Weirdest. So yeah, what the fuck were we talking about? Sex?
It doesn't
Child
matter.
abuse? Butt stuff?
Butt stuff. Always butt stuff. It comes back to butt stuff.
I have something crazy to tell you.
Oh, tell me.
Do you want it?
Yes.
Okay, so you saw the play. You saw The Fears.
Loved
right?
it.
And in it, I play a character who suffered childhood sexual abuse by the hand of his father.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. And the first rehearsal, we were sent home, and our director, Daniel Grant, who is absolutely brilliant, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gave us an assignment to write out in absolute, in crucial detail, the event,
Oh, God.
right?
Oh,
So,
what'd you write?
so I know a lot of different child abuse. I don't know raped by your father,
Okay.
right? So I had to research it.
Oh, no, you're on a list.
Mama, if anything ever happens in the city of New York, I'm going to jail because when you Google this shit, it doesn't just come up. It's like here are some numbers you can call for support.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't even tell you. And I'm literally just trying to read an account of someone who has suffered this, and it took forever to find like a written piece, and that it's just the worst thing you've ever read. What was the purpose of me sharing?
I
that?
don't know, but it's just out.
It's
in
out
the
there into
world
the
now.
universe. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I had to do that. Isn't that crazy? 3 months ago, and then to fall off the planet for 3 months. Like that was how I kicked it off. Let me also say this. So I was moving. We bought our first place.
Congratulations.
It's been a fuck of a year. It's so good.
Who used to own your place? Very excited.
But by saying that, don't I just basically give everyone my address?
Well, take it out.
Right?
Do you want that taken out? We'll take it
yeah,
out.
I would
take
rather,
it out.
you know what I mean? But someone's going to read my mouth and then everyone's going to come, whatever. I have a very, we're cool. But, right. My dog is vicious. He's 15 pounds of feral.
His name is Handsome.
But we were moving, literally the last stick of furniture went in at 11 p.m. the night before I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to my first rehearsal.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like I was moving, renovating, packing, went straight into this process for 3 months where I fell off the planet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it kicks off with me having to write that thing. I couldn't be less connected to normal life. I am absolutely like.
To be fair, Mehran, when I met you, you were not connected to normal life.
We're going there. We're unpacking that. We're doing that. Okay.
Mehran, we met, on the way to Atlantic City?
That's right.
Yes.
We were both booked for this weird gig.
Very hell gig.
Hell gig. A proper hell gig.
Yes.
A proper hell gig. Emilio sent us there. Right?
Atlantic City.
Emilio, who I had like really bad blood with
Oh,
prior
I didn't
to
know
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Prior to that. I think he's like adorable now. I think he's like handsome. I would bang. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like, you wouldn't bang?
No.
No, you have a man.
Yeah.
Right?
I got my little squishy.
Yeah. And he's not your type, right? Do you actually like a small man?
I do. I've dated like 6.
That's wild.
I like them small.
That's wild.
I like to be the powerful
See,
one.
that's the thing. The reason I wasn't afraid of being like, clocked as a pedophile is because all I like are older men. Like since I was,
Yeah.
myself illegal, I have been pursuing older men.
So we went to Atlantic City.
Why? Oh yeah, we go to Atlantic City. It's the casino. It's like their B room, which is normally a strip club.
Yeah.
Right.
And the background is just a bunch of mouths.
It's literally 50 cathode ray televisions with lips, like the Boomerang commercial for Strange's lipstick. It's literally
so bad.
And then you went first. This is also like, how many years before I end up in rehab is this?
I think it's like
5 or 6.
Yeah.
6 years ago, probably.
I think so.
Right?
I think it was before I did Colbert. So
it was definitely before you did Colbert. How long ago did you do Colbert?
5 years ago.
It was definitely before Colbert for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was maybe even a year before you did Colbert.
Great.
Okay.
Because I called someone pregnant when they were not pregnant.
Let me tell you something. And like, she was lippy.
She was like, awful. She was not a great person.
The things we put up with back then that we wouldn't put up with now. Isn't that wild?
She was talking and then she was sitting there and she looked pregnant as hell. I stand by it.
No,
she looked so pregnant.
Yeah, no, something was wrong.
It was all just in the front.
No,
nothing on the side.
It could have
all
been
in the front.
It could have been a teratoma. It could have been a tumor with teeth and hair. Am I also not allowed to talk about cancer? Is that
no, you can talk about
You can't monetize about having sex with someone's tumor? You can't fuck a tumor on YouTube?
I'm just going to straight up put no monetization on this one. Just put it no. None.
Why? But you are trying to monetize. I can behave.
No.
We can do a part B where
honey,
where I show my Christian truth.
Yes. Your Christian truth.
My Christian truth. Where, there's genital kissing and then fellowship. Is that wrong?
No.
Okay.
But honestly, I want it all just the way you are.
I am what I am.
You are. If I wanted to make money, I wouldn't have you on the goddamn podcast.
That's really interesting. That's interesting that anytime I'm booked for something, it is despite my absolute lack of marketability. It is
you
regardless
are
of
loved.
the fact. That is true.
Yes.
That part I know. But wow. That is something I need to actually process, that like I stand in the way of someone actually being able to further themselves and make money. That is I'm into it.
I'm
okay
losing
with that.
my rent money having
super.
you here.
That's super duper. I'm really sorry. God. No. Good thing I married well. Because,
Oh, I hear you.
I have really good insurance.
That's great. But I remember that trip. That guy, we went on to the casino floor. All right. They found us and we got shit faced. And the husband of that woman was like, I should kick your ass. I should fight you.
He said that to you.
To me.
And not to me, like away from me. Because if I were to have heard that, I would have fought.
Yeah. And then you're just towering over talking to the woman, making her feel better.
That's
And then
very
he was
real.
just like, I wasn't sure. I was like, am I going to have to go up there and fight this bitch? I'm going to have to fight her.
You're thinking that?
No, he's saying that to me.
Oh my God.
Into my face. And I was like, well, I have the biggest guy here, so I'm not worried about it. And I was like, I did one car ride with this guy. He's a crazy motherfucker.
I am actively
So go
nuts.
ahead and hit me.
Yeah. Well, also there's money in being hit.
There is?
Of course there's money in being hit.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you
take away that kid's college education.
You can instigate someone with ideas, but if they are violent towards you, the Westboro Baptist Church, Fred Phelps and all of those like satanic, awful people who masquerade as Christians, they would go to like AIDS funerals and specifically protest and try to instigate fights. For the specific purpose, what they spent their money on were their legal teams. So if anybody were to attack them, boom, that's how they paid for their next sojourn to ruin someone else's funeral, was by virtue of suing whoever attacked them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if we were smarter.
If we were smarter, I would have been like, doesn't my chin look nice and
Yeah.
barren?
Hey,
come on,
fatty. No one would knock you up. I mean, well, that's so weird. It's just so weird that.
Well, I was also 3 years into comedy, and I was like, what are you doing?
But
like
don't you know that
idiot.
that's why I'm afraid of like doing, not that I'm afraid, right? I'm obviously not afraid because I will walk a room for sport.
You laid on the ground during that show
I remember.
and started talking to the disco ball.
Yeah, about bad sex I've had.
Yeah.
I remember I talked about this guy who had like a Frankenstein haircut who made unnecessary sex noises at me. And I talked about the small person who crawled on me like a crab sideways.
What was that?
Please
tell that story.
I was in Miami and there was I had been out looking for dick all night.
Mm-hmm.
I just went from bar to bar, like trying to catch a dick.
Okay.
And am I allowed to say catch a dick, or is that also something that Tide won't
catch
co-sign?
a dick? Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can say catch a dick, okay? But you can't say,
You can say anything you want.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You can say anything you want.
I'm so curious about this monetization
Oh my
thing.
God. I really opened up a bag of worms.
Well, it's really exciting to me that like that in the land of the free there are things we can't say. That is heartrending.
I think the only thing you've said so far that was bad was you said the F slur. Is this even working?
Faggot?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
You can't say.
I can't say it.
Yeah, oh, you sure can't.
Yeah, but how do they know though that you can say it and I can't say it?
Yeah,
How do they-
Mama, because
Do I need to
literally,
fill out a form?
There's AI that can tell that I'm allowed to say it and you're not. Do you know what I mean? You still have women's pubic hair in your throat, and you know what I mean? And I barely have a throat from it being just like plowed by strangers with thick cocks, meaty, vascular cocks that are just like snaking, like plumbing down my gullet. So, so is that also not?
It's perfect.
You can't monetize that.
I love it.
You can't
Was there
talk about it.
consent?
Absolutely not.
Jesus Christ. Well, now
So
I can't.
what? I was asleep. But I mean, I didn't snitch. This is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So, what the fuck were we even
You were talking about the little guy with the crawling.
Little guy. So I was chasing dick, no luck. And which was, for me, was crazy. This is Miami. I was 23, peak beauty. I would go, back in the day, I would go into a bar and be like, we're fucking in 4 hours. I would get wasted. He'd still be waiting for me 4 hours later and I'd take him to that. It was that kind of like, it was shot collar fuckability. and so I couldn't find a dick. It was a lot of like dads, but like guys in like golf clothes. It was just a weird night in Miami. I bike back to my place. There is a little person leaning against a signpost who looks at me unsolicited and goes, "You are an angel." I was like, we're doing this. Because I also have a thing, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, or you call them, but like resume sex.
What's resume? Oh.
Sex that you have for the story.
Okay.
No? Of course, right? Like, I met a guy once who Dr. Ruth Westenheimer tried to fuck him on a cruise, and he said no, and I like never talked to him again. I was like, you're a fool. You have no respect for yourself or the human experience. Fuck off. Like, to hell.
So what's your resume?
I fucked some really crazy shit. My first blowjob was from a 69-year-old man at a Christmas party in a children's toilet. It was like, I love a weird bit of sex.
Okay.
Right? Like there's something about, I think it's just from being like a trauma survivor and an abused child that the extreme, like absurdism dulls the brutality of reality.
Okay.
Right? Like
All right, I
there's
see
something
that.
about being in ridiculous situations that's like, it's all ridiculous, mama. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's fine. So then I go into his house and he lays me on the bed.
He lays you on the bed?
Well, I mean, he presents the bed. He couldn't possibly. Okay. You know what? You're talking about towering over. So I towered over him, and he laid. I got very naked very quickly. He got on top of me and started making this sex. I can't even believe. I was so wasted, but I remember it. He went, ha, 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 and he kept making that noise, and I was like, anything to make this go away. So I fucked his face very just to make it stop. And he kept scuttling like a crab from side to side in a way that was also off-putting psychically. So he was scuttling and making noise unless my dick was in his mouth. And I finished very quickly and immediately left his apartment. And he was yelling at me through the slats of his Miami window going, "You are rude. You are rude." And I was like, I've got to get out of here. And it turns out he was my neighbor and later applied for a job at the restaurant where I was working. And I literally had to tell my manager, I was like, he can't get hired.
You prevented this man from getting a job.
I stood in the way of his.
Oh my
I am
goodness.
not, who's a good person? Who's a good person? Who? Who?
I want to hear more about this resume.
About the weird
Yeah,
sex?
weird sex. Give me more stories about that.
There was the barber with the Frankenstein haircut who I let cut my hair, and then he cut my hair into a block wiffle, which was a disaster. And then he didn't do unnecessary sex. He did unnecessary sex breathing. Call him, I see your weights. And he was like he Darth Vadered on me. And then gave me a sippy cup, literally a children's sippy cup with whiskey, and made me watch figure skating. I was like, I am out of here. You fucked up my hair. You gave me liquor in a children's, what do you even call a cup? A cup. And then made me watch it was the faggoty. It's one of the faggiest perfect storms of faggotry that I have ever faggoted. I mean, there's so many of them, Caitlin. There's so much weird sex. There's so much weird sex.
What was the most recent one?
Oh, I can't do that. I'm married.
Oh, no. Before
marriage?
Yeah.
I
guess you've been married a long time.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So you're still going back. You still have to think.
Well, no, I mean, we're open-ish.
Oh, okay.
But we were just talking about this before we started recording, that do you watch porn independently? Mm-hmm. Or do you watch porn with Steve?
Watch with Steve.
With Steve. That's lovely. How did you find porn that you agree on?
He just let me pick.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, how lovely. Because it all works for him.
Yeah.
How lovely.
It's like, you want to do this? Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm just happy to be here.
That makes me that's wonderful. That's wonderful to
I'm
me.
sure it's the most vanilla
Guys,
sex in the world.
Just
And
let
he's
your
just
girl
like-
pick. Just let your girl pick.
It's basically like just an NC-17 movie that I like
Wonderful.
to watch.
Yeah. It's Basic Instinct. It's literally it's the crossing of
Yeah.
the leg on repeat.
I'm ready to go.
Woo! Hot. And meanwhile, it's like he's, it's blacklit and it's so but in general I try to, I don't know why, but I don't show Noah the wet. There's agreed porn, there's agreed sexy, but then there's what I like, and I don't expose him to that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I'm so curious, but I will not ask.
What? No, I mean, I don't give a shit. It's
What kind of porn do you not show
if,
Noah?
If there is step family anywhere, a step uncle, a stepfather, do you know what I mean? If someone's doing step work or, anything like that, or, hot stepping, steps are incredibly effective.
Someone walking
for
around
me.
with a Fitbit?
Because, do you know what it is? It's that there's even the smallest attempt to act.
Oh, I see.
That even the most minor commitment to scenario is enough to, make me forget about
He's about the craft.
the ways in which I am broken. So, but yeah, I try to preserve. It's not. We are an open thing, but I don't necessarily go and be like, "Yeah, this is who I bang."
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, it's respectful.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
just respectful.
Keep it
It's
respectful.
handled respectfully.
Great.
Yeah. So we're not touching on anything from the last 12 years, although some weird shit has happened. I can assure you, some weird shit has happened. There was one time. Oh man.
Please tell.
No.
Come on.
No.
Tell me.
It's someone who. Oh man.
You don't have to give details.
No, because we have family. Right?
What are you talking about?
Noah has family.
Yes.
And I don't, what if it goes back and he's like, yeah, what about the time that you came home and Mehran's face smelled like bud? Because he was being sat on just moments before you came home. Noah shouldn't have to ever be confronted by me being a chair.
You could also just say that it happened
for
13
someone I met in
years
line
ago.
at the Nintendo store.
The Nintendo store?
It was the launch of the Switch. It was a very important day.
Nothing makes you want to get sat on like a Nintendo Switch.
No, it was just, do you know what it is? I love a stupid thing. I can't say this. Do you know what I mean? I can't. But I love because these people exist. They're people.
Yes.
They're people.
Yes.
And so we spare them. Do not, if whatever you do not make a short clip of that. Because he's a person who exists and still watches my stuff.
The Nintendo Switch guy?
Yes. Shh.
God bless. God bless.
Yeah, he was lovely though. What a truly lovely soul.
That's what we're gonna clip.
But not the
he
most
was
sort
lovely.
Of, not a person who, comes from a background of like intellectual rigor, let's say.
Oh, well, now you just got mean. You didn't have to have that part at all.
What? Why? What did I?
Intellectual rigor?
Yes.
What a prissy way to call someone stupid.
Oh my God! I thought it was, I wanted to say it in a way he couldn't possibly understand.
You bitch. Oh, let me see here.
12?
Oh,
Are we almost done?
We're almost done.
Holy shit!
I know, it flies by.
That was so fast.
Look at that.
Wow.
What, you got any more stories? Let's end on one last story.
A story of sex?
Yeah. It's debauchery.
A story of sex and debauchery. There was the boy I threw cheese at. Who then
Please elaborate.
who then would creep up my fire escape
Okay.
and throw it in me and then
Throw it in
and
you?
then we'd fight. Yeah, he had a hog on him. Itty bitty
The cheese
balls.
or
What?
his penis?
He wouldn't put cheese inside him.
That's
What kind of animal? What kind of an animal is taking cheese in the ass?
String cheese?
I barely get it out. Why would you say that to me?
Well, you said cheese, and then you said he would throw it in me.
No, he'd throw his penis in me.
Okay, thank you. Much better.
Which was like, it was like French bread. But he was Latin. And have you ever seen a really... What? Is that grass? Is that a tattoo of grass?
Focus.
Yeah, just, really thick dong, itty bitty balls.
Itty bitty balls.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is weird because I love them.
You love balls?
I love them.
They're the worst part.
That's absolutely not true. I love Mateo. I once told him I wanted to look like 2 scoops of ice cream in repose. You know what I mean? Just sort of like soft, forgotten ice cream for when you just leave it out for 20 minutes. It's just like. Is that also not monetizable?
This whole thing is done.
It's done. It's done. As in, no one's gonna get to see this. That
No. Everybody's gonna get to see it.
That's a shame.
I'm just not gonna make any money. I'm not gonna make 30 cents a play.
Why won't you make any money? Can being demonetized?
I want to know when you threw cheese at this man.
Oh, he was being loud on my stairs, so I hurled cheese at him. And then he came up and we banged. Yeah.
That was your meet cute?
Yeah. I was like, the fuck up! Whap! And then he came up and was like, you want to? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Sit down. Can I get you anything? More cheese? And then... I mean, it's a lot of people, Caitlin.
Okay.
Because... when you're a homo in the 90s,
yes.
Right? It's not like there were, I went to high school and there were all of these people experimenting. The world was scared. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in sports, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity for something discreet and sort of clandestine or even spontaneous to happen. They would have had to come to the theater room, which was gay central. Do you know what I mean? there was no discreet way to hook up.
Mm-hmm.
And also I was a roly-poly thing and kind of mental because I was an abused kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so that didn't happen. Then I go to college. Oh my God, I blew the carrot. The first blowjob I ever gave was to we called him the Carrot. In part because he was this ginger with sort of a wild frondy top. And but also he had a bit of shovel face, right? He looked like someone had hit him. And
With
so
a shovel?
with a shovel. He
Got
had
it.
very and like eyes very spread like a dolphin. And
You saw him and you're like, it's love.
and I was like this. I was such a scammer homo at that time, where we got stoned and I was like, I don't know. I think head is like a massage or something. Like I planted that seed and he came over later and was like, do you think? I was like, yeah, go ahead, hop on. I've done it a million times. Never had done it, and I didn't know what I was doing. And he took forever to jizz, and then he left the room and I called my best friend back home in Boston and I was like, Miss Thing. Like I just did the thing and he was crazy. We call him the Carrot and it took forever to come. The insides of my cheeks are numb. Why is that? And he had been listening at my door.
Oh no, poor Carrot.
I felt so bad. And then I heard that he took acid at some music festival and disappeared.
Oh no.
Like not just like went crazy and then walked into the trees, but like might have turned into light.
Okay, so this whole podcast is if you've seen Carrot.
On it, yeah.
This is a missing person announcement for the Carrot.
I feel like I've named so many names.
Oh, for sure.
That's
great.
awful.
No. You haven't been. The only person who really got it was the Carrot.
Do you know what it is, though? We name the names of people who have honestly graced us in our lives with
Touched
their
us.
uniqueness.
They've touched
who have,
us on
you
the
know,
inside.
Yeah, and like and have broadened our experience of like genuinely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't take back any of them. You know,
Yes.
the Crab Man, Frankenstein. None of
What
them.
was Frankenstein?
He was the
yeah,
the sippy
yeah.
cup and the figure skating. But somehow like within our industry, like if somebody does something truly awful, we don't talk about it because we don't want to be seen as trouble, like problem people. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's something I think that might be something I would want to do as my life's work. Get people to just say the goddamn thing that happened with someone in power who was a piece of shit.
Yes,
That's all I want.
that is true.
You know?
Well, you did
I made
that.
Jeff Singer go away.
Yeah, you did. I told you what he did to me, and you were like, "Let me put it on Facebook," and then he got fired.
We've done some good work.
We did.
The pregnant bitch. Yeah.
Oh.
I love you. I've loved watching who you've become as a comic. I've loved it.
I love you.
You're so fucking strong
You're
and you
sweet.
do the work, which
You're
is huge.
Sweet boy.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
Yeah. And I like Colin too.
He's
as a
all right.
person. I'm not a dick.
He's
I actually like
okay.
him. I think he's good. He could stand to get some more sun. Honey, you're blue.
Yes. That's true. If you
Even-
need mouth to mouth.
Even deep breathing. Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. I bet you it's lovely. My point is this. I've so enjoyed my time here. No, we have 4 minutes. Is there anything you want to say?
Where can people find you?
Oh, fuck. The Mehran on Instagram.
Yes.
Right? As in, we already gave my address out. We're going to have to do something about that. And yeah, no, the Mehran. I don't think I'm ever going to use Twitter again.
No.
You know?
Twitter's terrifying.
It's just the worst
Yeah.
now. Facebook, like, no.
You love a long post on Facebook.
But it's all gone. They're all hidden now.
They're all hidden?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
done with that.
Facebook. Yeah.
But I do love a long, like if I'm good, where else do you put out a long post? Salon. You know what I mean? If you have a manifesto that you're going to issue before you commit an act of social terrorism, where do you do it? Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Social terrorism. You know?
Yeah, that is true. That is
Right?
true.
But it's also like, this is kind of what I mean. Like, how do you unearth something? How do you unmask something that people should know about that otherwise, like, people in power just run around doing terrible things?
That's true.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
How do you take someone to the mat? so that they can't keep being terrible in the world. Because it's like the likelihood that someone in power is just being terrible to you is nil.
Yes.
It's
that
nil.
is true.
Right? No one is acutely an asshole. You know, maybe I am. Maybe there are just some people who catch the wrong fucking side.
Yeah, but you have
Like
no
Jeff
power.
Singer.
You have no power in terms of
except
lording over people.
Right. As in, I'm not
Yes.
a gatekeeper
There we
in
go.
any sense.
Yes,
In
that's what I mean.
any sense.
So
am
you could
I
be
a
an asshole.
gatekeeper. Right? I
Live
think
your
that's
life.
right.
But you're not.
That part is also true.
You're not
I
an
have
asshole.
absolutely no interest. In
Yeah.
fact, I think everyone can win. That is like low key what I believe.
I think you're right too. I think everybody
You know what I
can
mean?
win.
Everybody
They
can
have
win.
to believe that.
No one has to be. Well, but you're very good. And it's really anyone who works. That's what I mean by like coming back to comedy in a different way. I now know, like, I'm in a different kind of shape
Yeah.
in entertainment than I was 3 months
You're
ago.
fit.
It's not like just physically
Physically.
fit. It's like I could, like, you can put me on stage multiple times a day for very long periods and I'm good.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that before.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Look at you. You. Well, thanks for doing the podcast.
Thank you for my coffee. I'm sorry that I've taken money out of your wallet and hours out of your day. How about
No,
that?
you've made my heart lighter. So
Oh, thank God.
beautiful.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.